here. Thank you for joining me on the channel. This is your February 2024 soul story. If you've got a sun rising or moon in the sign, this might resonate for you. It'll afford you some insights to navigate through the month ahead. If you've got a birthday this month, happy solar returns. We are going to open up with the energy of the Knight of Cups, and you are creating this beautiful bridge this month between where you are and where you want to be. You know what it will take, and you also realize what you can't take with you. And I think there's an important realization sort of very early on in February, and perhaps for the end of the month you're just really allowing that thought to permeate and to really process it, because it's not something that I think we want to have an irrational or sort of impulsive move. We want to just kind of allow this to naturally sort of carry us forward, but without resistance. And so as we sort of approach the 7th of the month, we've got an interesting surprise coming through for you, and news or information that definitely feels like it's a little left field, but does give you confidence, I believe, in some of the ways in which you've been thinking through the right direction and way forward. Okay, now that's just ahead of the Aquarius new moon coming through. And I think we do realize, as we come up to the 9th of the month, that what it's going to take and what we have to release and relinquish in order to kind of facilitate this next chapter, this next step for you in February, is also something that, you need to be able to express and communicate clearly to people around you. And perhaps that's going to take also a little bit of time to figure out how best you articulate that. Now, the Aquarius new moon comes in with a square to Uranus, so there's a pressure point here. And the pressure point is also, asking us to do something differently. The Aquarius new moon is wanting to shake things up a little bit. All of that giving you an opportunity to kind of almost have more oxygen, more space to breathe in some area of your life. So you might be really quite clear within yourself what you need in order to be able to continue or to maintain some sense of balance in your world. But that square with Uranus, perhaps some of the information and news that you need to share, you appreciate is going to be maybe a little bit shocking or disruptive to those around you. You might also have something else that comes in by way of slight interference as you're trying to deal and navigate with something much more personal to you, and then something kind of arises around that energy of the new moon that we in some ways kind of have to deal with or have to face. And there's a sense around mixed signals here, but what I feel is that whatever comes up is actually going to help to clear where there may have been ongoing mixed signals. So whether that's with a family member or a friend, somebody at work, your romantic relationship, something about that dynamic that has left you feeling a little bit unsettled, and really kind of needs to be addressed is what is coming through here. Now, we're also going to be celebrating the year of the dragon coming in right after that Aquarius new moon. Movement, growth, but there's a directiveness and a focus coming through here, and it's just like, okay, let's just have the conversation. Okay, devil energy is showing up here. It's not a comfortable conversation. Yeah, it's not a comfortable thing for us to face, but perhaps it's been something that's been around or been allowed to continue for too long. And you're aware that in order to release yourself and let this bridge kind of fully form so that you can move forward in a more positive, uplifted way and really give yourself permission to be able to show up for the things that you've set intentions for early on in this year. It's like, if this is the year that's going to create real change for you, you have to be that active participant. But we appreciate that sometimes that devil energy and the way that we're entangled in situations that are deeply complex, and that our actions always cause a reaction. And it's that kind of cause and effect that I feel is being highlighted in and around that time, and is something that we need to deal and, really face and have that kind of conversation that says, okay, this is not going to be particularly easy, but when you come out of the other side of it, something will have been cleared, and the opportunity to kind of really release yourself from that that sort of bond is something that, you know, you'll look back on and think, I'm so glad that I was brave enough or confident enough to sort of show up and step up and really kind of say the hard things, okay? Now, we've got the stellium of energy coming in with Aquarius mid-month. Mars shifts into the sign on the 13th. We've also got Venus moving into the sign on the 16th. You know, you do have this ignition around passion. You know, you've got Valentine's energy in there if that's something that you celebrate. People will be kind of doing things a bit differently though, and that might sort of land a bit strangely, you know. So with the best will in the world, you might have a certain idea about how something should unfold, or kind of what your expectations are, and you know, you might find that someone has a completely different outlook or perspective. In many ways it might just show you something that you'd never considered or been open to previously, so I wouldn't be kind of so quick to kind of shut down alternatives or options. You know, even if you are seeking love or you are exploring ideas in any way really in and around that mid-month, it's like definitely a time to kind of just allow yourself to sort of hold space for things that might feel very outside of your particular comfort zone, or what your tick list is around what you think is the right thing for you, you know, whatever that may be. I also feel, you know, around that new moon, it's an important time where we can kind of reset and allow ourselves an opportunity to reflect on what we deserve. And, you know, if you're almost like writing out affirmations around what you deserve, you know, I deserve, fill in the blanks. And then I kind of want to follow up with because I am, you know, that powerful I am presence within you. You know, so I deserve because I am, and therefore I will. So it kind of almost gives you like a plan of action naturally, intuitively. And as we've got our Knight of Swords coming through here, interesting that we have these two knights kind of flanking the devil here. Two different energies, two different points of view, two very different elementals working here, both moving quite quickly actually. There's a sense of urgency to a certain degree. You may be the one pushing for that urgency, or you may feel a little bit pressured from outside external forces around that time. What I will say though is that there's something that's sort of meant for you on the horizon. And this is why I do feel to a certain degree fate is kind of forcing your hand with something a little bit in February, Pisces. And you'll want to just like be open and vigilant to how things are sort of conspiring, and quite quickly. There might be something showing up in February that, you know, maybe you had your eye on, or you had a feeling might be coming up for you, but perhaps you thought it was going to be much further down the line. But there's something about an action needing to be taken. And again, it's like, what is holding us back, or where are we still bound or restricted by some kind of situation or person or belief that is not enabling us to kind of take this opportunity and really move forward with it, okay? There is, of course, through the course of February, like this huge focus around the clearing and the healing. And, you know, we have this powerful Venus conjunct Mars on the 22nd, that 222 portal. Big relationship issues coming to light here to be dealt with. And then we've got this really powerful North Node and Chiron conjunction, exact on the 19th, spanning through to the 25th, where there is an opportunity and action for healing. It's a very rare aspect. And it's going to give you an opportunity to take your power back and to move forward. But in the shadow aspect, we know that there's victim energy, and there's often that feeling of kind of having to heal through a crisis point, okay? Nonetheless, what we see is movement all through your reading so far in February, and I'm really encouraged for this, because I think there's sort of is this sense for you of like, oh my God, is this never going to change? Like, is this something that I'm bound to or stuck in? And it just feels no matter what I do, I can't kind of really get the momentum I'm looking for. One step forward, two steps back. There's definitely this sense of like a wave coming through in February, and it's building. The energy is building with it. So it might start off quite gently, but over time it's going to become this powerful force, this life force energy that's going to direct you to where you're meant to be, and really be supportive of helping you to see for yourself, yes, this is possible. And of course, the sun, powers into your sign on the 18th, which is going to give you that sense of, gosh, I'm so ready to reinvent something in my world. I'm so ready to step through this portal and allow myself to become, something different, or to make space for something new. And I really feel that February will deliver that for you. As we make our way further into the month, on the 23rd, Mercury powers into your sign Pisces on the 23rd. We've got High Priestess. It helps you to just carefully consider what you want to say before you say it. But when you do, it also feels like it pre-paves the way, not only for you, but for other people to show up in a more truthful, more authentic, more aligned way. It's almost like saying, well, you know what, that's actually not okay for me. I can no longer compromise or keep telling you that I'm fine with it when I'm not. And so giving yourself permission to just be honest about what is now a no also allows other people to say, well, actually, I wasn't that happy with this setup either. So this is where this refreshing, truthful, cathartic, expression starts to come in and release some of these mixed signals that I feel have been incredibly challenging for you to have to navigate with, very draining, in fact. There's also this sense of looking all over for the answers, so you might find yourself kind of scrabbling around, or maybe asking a lot of different people and trying to seek the support, the counsel, the wisdom, when ultimately you're the one that's going to be best placed to actually know what's right for you in this instance. And it might take you to hear a few different perspectives that really land poorly for you. It's just like, absolutely not. Like, that is not feeling good to me as an option or a way forward. And if that's what it takes to help you come back to yourself and realize that actually I just really trust my gut on this one, that's going to be super supportive, especially as we come toward that Virgo full moon. That is going to arrive on the 24th, of course, highlighting your 7th house of relationships as well, Pisces. Now, Venus is squaring with Jupiter. So again, we've got a pressure point coming in with the revelations of this full moon. But Ace of Coins tells me that we have an opportunity for a fresh beginning here if we can allow the clearance to happen. And, when we value something and we know the potential of it and how we want to expand and evolve it, and we're prepared to do what's necessary to either share, communicate, or make a change or adjustment within ourselves, then you do have beautiful signs showing up that say, yes, this can work. All right. So that's the kind of feeling around that Virgo full moon. Of course, we need to maintain a degree of balance in how we're interacting. We can get a bit overly critical or harsh toward ourselves or others at that Virgo full moon. We also might have something spiked around our physicality, our health and well-being. So it might be like, with the best will in the world, I know what I want to do, but there's something also stopping me. I feel restricted because of something that might be affecting me in my health and vitality. And again, that will help you to realize what needs to be addressed and actually set about making the change, which again I see you will do. You've also got strong intuition, so again, if you're seeking outside advice, medically, homeopathically, naturally, in any way, you yourself are going to be the one that actually arrives at what the true nature of something is and what is the next right step for you as well. So it definitely feels like you should be trusting in yourself, as well as allowing other people to present to you things that might be supportive or helpful to move forward. I think there's also this sense of somebody wanting to kind of move on something and make it bigger, or a bigger deal of it. And you are feeling a little bit more like, yeah, not yet. Like, I kind of want to just feel this out, or I want to add more to this, or it's not quite ready. So there's a little bit of kind of toing and froing as well in terms of either the timing or the degree to which something is shared or approached, okay? You are the one that might feel a little bit more conservative, not because you don't see the potential, the possibility, or indeed it isn't where you want to end up, but I do feel that someone's just kind of coming in with a little bit of a gung-ho sort of attitude here that you're not really appreciating, because they maybe don't recognize the subtleties or what it's taken to get to this point, or just how protective you are about the kind of sacredness of something. And so the legitimacy of how you feel really needs to be understood by anyone in and around this full moon that you feel particularly pressured or sort of backed into a corner with, okay? Keep that in mind, because again, it's going to influence how you embark on sort of the next step, and we want it to be in a way that feels really good for you, because it has a powerful, strong foundation. Actually, there's something here that's sustainable, actually. So whatever it is on your mind or you're feeling into and thinking about, could this work? How could it work? You know, some really strong signs kind of highlighted during the month of February to say, absolutely, you're on the money with this. But perhaps there are some, you know, things that we need to address before we start to kind of really like roll it out or start to share it or kind of devote any more time, energy, money, attention to it in some capacity, okay? So this month, check out my guided soul journeys in and around your relationships. And also you might want to revisit my dragon meditation as we enter that year of the dragon. All my sacred soul support here to really help you navigate in your own spiritual sacred practices. Now, if you're new to the channel, Pisces, the last 3 cards we cover off in the extended version of my reading. I talk for another 30 minutes or so. We'll go deeper into this reading. We'll also address a personal question for you, as well as a relationship insight, and just to give you some deeper messages for the month ahead. You can find the link in the comment and description box underneath. I appreciate your investment and for joining me if this is resonating for you. Now I'm going to go ahead and just clarify our main reading and just see the messages we're going to be talking about in that next session. So just beginning with this Knight of Cups. We've got the 8 of Wands showing up and the 6 of Pentacles. All the decks I use always listed below. 6 of Wands, beautiful. 9 of Cups. Magician. 7 of Cups. Lots of solutions that need to be kind of carefully thought through. There's definitely like, don't act too impulsively. Because there might be something even better that's going to suit you more. So early on in the month, you might think you've got the green light, or you feel like this is definitely the right approach, but I kind of want to say to you, just hang fire to see what else shows up before the end of February. Short month to wait as well. Another Devil coming through there. Definitely something that you're navigating that's surfacing within yourself. There's a lot of feeling of shame coming through with that Devil this month. Someone else's, or perhaps even you yourself, resolving something deeper through that healing crisis point. Remember, it's a take your power back kind of month. So even if we are, you know, prepared to finally face something, there's a lot of positive, strong energy around what happens as a result of that for you. So let's have a look at Life Soul Vision Oracle, which is my own deck. If you're new, again, you can check out this and other sacred titles, ways to work with me, all over on my website. So much is going to change this year. You know, who you put your faith in, your relationship with yourself, how you're driven, what you believe in. So early on, but you're just starting to feel into the kind of seeds of that. Earth Medicine and Magic cast their spell. We've got Third Eye Energy right above that High Priestess. Golden Ribbons of Light. Beautiful. Nourish Your Inner Wealth. Eclipse Revelation, Destiny Speaks. You know, we are going to be feeling in already to that arc of influence of this powerful total solar eclipse arriving through in April. Cosmic Rebellion. Beautiful. Okay, so let's have a look at the Rose Oracle for you as well. Message for Pisces for February. Sub Rosa, hidden in plain sight, mysteries, learning and teaching. Okay, we're going to explore this message along with your personal question, your relationship insight over on my extended. So I hope you'll join me. Have a beautiful month. Happy solar returns. Take care of yourself. I will see you again next time, Pisces. Bye for now.